Hello, hello, and welcome back to Santa Monica. It is time for the North American segment of the show. We've had a nice break between Europe and North America, but now here we are back again, ready to start, ready to get it all popping. It is myself, James Bardolph, and DDK, who's over there, and Mr. Stormborn, Eric Stromberg, who is to my right. We are back. It is 265 days since we could draw on the map in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but we'll continue to wait because we're patient. Since we've been gone, I got a new watch. Look, 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 look. This is 70s reissue from Timex. It is awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. It's brand new. It's sold out already. It will be reissued though. It's about $170. It is fantastic. Look at this bracelet, man. Look at this bracelet. That is absolutely fantastic. What a gorgeous little thing there. 70s style. You can find it on Timex.com. This is not a product placement. This is just because I like watches, as you know, and very vintagey and very nice. So there we go. That's me. That's me. I need to adjust the bracelet slightly, because it's just a tiny.
James, this is very unclean.
It is, yes. I don't know if we
Can't
would.
believe you put that on camera.
If we,
It's disgusting.
I don't know if it would like ruin the paint if we cleaned it though. So, but do you think it would ruin the paint, guys, if we cleaned it? What do you think?
Just repaint it. Just paint over it.
Don't use
That should be
bleach.
fine.
Don't use bleach or anything.
Like water and a cloth.
Well,
As far as I go.
Right, see, when I left my first university dorms, or we call it halls of residence in the UK, but over here it'd be dorms. I was like, oh god, I gotta clean everything. How do I do an extensive clean? And so I've got bleach. I bleached everything, but I didn't wear any gloves.
Oh my goodness!
So I burned my hands. Hey man,
I'm not even remotely surprised.
I was a student. When you're a student, James,
You lived in
you're
the
learning
Campania,
about-
That's the
learn.
main issue.
you're learning
here.
about life.
It's not that you're a
and-
student, it's that you're Daniel Campania. That's the problem. That's why you burned your hands with bleach. Let's look at the format and see what we're doing in this last week of North American Online Gaming, 21st to 24th of May. The first 3 weeks you can qualify just by winning the week. The last 2 weeks are a culmination of prize money, trying to build as much prize money as possible to make that last spot. And that is why we're still doing the format in the final week. Let's look at the bracket and see what teams, or who's going to be facing whom. So we can see Team Liquid, I think they're in with a shot, I'm pretty sure, versus Space Station there towards the bottom. MiBR are also in the running, I believe. They'll be facing Singularity. They had problems with Singularity last week, and they're facing them once again. Cloud9 and E United, these guys are facing across the internet in 2 different matches, both in best of 3 series. So we'll see how that one plays out. There's a lot of interesting matchups here. Cloud9 and E United, both teams with different issues. INTZ and Luminosity, same could be said there. Liquid versus Space Station should be the lopsided match of the evening. But anything else stand out to you guys?
Well, I want to see if Singularity can get a little revenge in MiBR. I mean, they almost had MiBR actually last time, just slipping up on, at least overpassing. It kind of got stomped, but
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's MiBR saying, "Come on, guys, why do we let that get so close? We're gonna crush them this time."
it's true.
That could be the case too.
And these are the matches that we will be seeing on the broadcast today. Singularity versus MiBR and INTZ versus Luminosity. The other matches will be broadcasted by the community casters, potential up-and-coming commentators. Always nice to see. It's great to put the opportunities out there. Some of these guys will be flown to the land to watch the finals, which will be really cool. When we had Hawker and Dinko, we let them commentate the finals. That was a bonus for them. They were an outstanding example, and they worked really, really hard. So
I like that.
it was nice to reward them, and they performed pretty well. So it gave them more and more games at the finals, which was a great experience for them as well. So let us know what you think, or who's going to win. Who's going to win today? Who's going to take the W's? ECS on Twitter, Face It on YouTube, which is where you can find all our VODs and our videos. There'll be our flamethrower video will be posted tomorrow. I haven't decided what time yet. Some kind of European time though, but I'll get back to you on that later on. But I mean, just get it subscribed, it'll be in your inbox. Faceit.com on the Instagram to find out some fun pictures and things and bits and bobs and stuff and things like that. If you can make it to London, if you are a nightcrawler, if you're in Europe, or if you just like to travel, then get yourself a ticket for our finals. There are discounts available for students. ECS.faceit.com is where you can find us. If you're a pensioner, I'll give you a discount. I don't know how many we're watching that are going to go to the finals, but tweet me if you are, and then we'll make it happen. ECS.faceit.com. Finals in London in June. 8th and 9th of June. Those are the live days. It will be a party there. It's always a little festival, and London's a great place to go, especially in the middle of the year. Probably good weather. No promises. We can't do that. It's just like you may have heard of our weather before. It is somewhat notorious. Let's get into the vetoes and see where these teams will be playing today. Will we see more Vertigo? It hasn't been vetoed yet. Okay. Okay. Ah, come on, MiBR, man. That late veto, I respect it. They'll pick Overpass as a decider. So Mirage, Inferno, and Overpass. A nice trio of maps.
So you can see the nuke ban by MiBR. I think nuke is... They're finally just it's like, you know what? Let's not play it. Let's just ban it. Put it on the ban list. Why not? And actually, MiBR and Singularity did play Mirage last time as well. That's interesting.
Surprisingly close. But again, it in theory should not be. Really shouldn't be. MiBR should be, again, in theory, a top 6 team in the world without question. And presumably, they're going to bring that something close to that level here today. I would imagine that. I'd be very surprised if we're going to see another kind of close 3-mapper out of this. I'd be quite surprised. It shouldn't really happen. In theory, not to take anything away from Singularity, I do think they've got a lot of good players and lots of promise. Yeah. Honestly, I was pretty impressed by them and I enjoyed watching them play. So hopefully... actually, didn't we play a pug against some of them, like Hydrex and Ryan? And right, yeah, and OC, I think. We played against OC as well.
Oh, yeah, OC was on there too.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
In that game?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. That was a while ago, like a few days ago.
I don't think I played against Hydra.
I forget.
No,
Either way, Mirage Inferno. Will Singularity be able to get past that? I don't think that's likely.
So I guess Dan's made his prediction then. His pinnacle prediction. You have to pick MiBR. In terms of predictions, we have to pick MiBR.
Yeah, the heat is on. They want to win.
I do not expect a repeat performance in terms of the struggles they had with Singularity last time. It wouldn't make sense for that to be a consistent thing in this matchup. I feel like MiBR should learn and grow from that and just kind of absorb information and just be better.
It looked like MiBR last time came kind of unprepared and Singularity came to play to win. And MiBR barely squeaked by, so I don't think MiBR would make that same mistake twice. So,
all right,
MiBR, go.
MiBR. Okay, good. Glad we agree. Just suppressing Connor in the corner there.
We get to hear
so
from
let's
Connor.
see what the fan. No, he didn't. That's the. Never mind. Okay, user predictions: 84% for MiBR. I think that's pretty reasonable. That's what it should be. And those are big odds. We don't have the nuke in, and Pinnacle are being very, very generous indeed. So here we are into the game. Singularity moving towards the B bomb site on the T side. They're all there. The whole team, the whole squad. The crew, the mandem, the posse, whatever you want to call them. The party of 5.
Well, Colzera's traded out. Taco goes down as well. And getting into the bomb site seems difficult. You can see the T's crowding around the door, but it's going to be Floppy to hold it down. And Fallen is not interested anymore. As he's actually going to take full advantage of going through that smoke, but Floppy with the punish. And that coordination wasn't quite there, because if Fallen had picked a moment when his teammates had a moment when his teammates took contact, then we're talking. Then that, all 3 of them would have been active at once instead of Floppy getting a 1v1 there. And that's ultimately the problem. It's these small timings that make the difference. See Fallen coming out just before his teammates are actually pushing Floppy's position. That's the problem. But good round from Singularity. They make the B play work. Nice ace from Floppy. Floppy ace, let's go. Good way for Singularity to open things up.
Nothing floppy about that ace.
Yeah.
MiBR have got a bunch of deagles and a scout on Fallen. Smoked off in mid for the time being. Singularity will wait. They've got position up top, but soon those smokes will be gone. Do they have the numbers to survive if there is a giant peak from everywhere? That is the question. They start to creep towards the position. It's a nice angle from Phelps. Will Floppy check the other side? That's probably what Phelps is hoping for. Let's have a look. No, he doesn't check it at all.
What a position.
I'm thinking of a different position actually, but very nice stuff by Phelps. Indeed, no, what a position. Fur, okay. The deletion has begun. Can he collect any weapon though? Phelps has got an AK-47. Everyone survives for MiBR, and maybe that is the end of the line in terms of the success for Singularity.
And that's one of the drawbacks of, you saw what Floppy did was take halls late. 1 minute 10 round. What was he doing for the first 45 seconds of the round? Was he just like watching A push or whatnot? My point being is, you're entering a spot by yourself with a chance of a CT being pushed up. Unlikely, yeah, I know, but it's still like, why not go to that spot at the beginning of the round so you eliminate that kind of risk? Just little things like that.
There he is. Learn his lesson.
Learn his lesson.
So they're actually quite spread out here with the Deagles, trying to catch pushes all over the place, perhaps, as opposed to grouping up in one place and trying to overwhelm. This is a very dangerous fight with a Deagle because they can just spray you. Of course, he does actually get a connection, which does quite a good amount of damage to Deagle. Very powerful, of course. And in the hands of an expert, can win you around sometimes. But perhaps not this time. At least not with how things look now. Helps to spot one from Palace. It's pretty predictable here, pretty easy for MiBR to handle this and to control the flow of players. So he picks one up. OC's last name is Ohm. Isn't that like a measurement of sound or something?
I don't know.
What? Ohms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a measurement of sound.
Something to do with sound.
Something to do
I
with
wouldn't say sound
cool.
itself.
Like,
Maybe too far.
like something to do with waves or something. I'm not sure. Yeah. Interesting.
It's good to know.
I had to look it up because I feel like that's something I should know. I feel like you should, something you should know is measurements.
That's a good one. Just in case if you have to measure sound.
Exactly.
But measuring sound would be like decibels. So I think it's not measuring sound.
Sound volume.
But it could be something to do with the resistance or the waves, or I'm not sure. Anyway, Deagles again, although less of them this time. Deagles, but less. And that's not a great prospect.
It's not even, well, I don't know if Sheikh Zula had one, but never mind. Never mind, everyone's dead. Cold really wants to throw that grenade. I've been there, many people have. I really want to throw that grenade. Kind of exposed doing it, but Cold Zero survives because Cold Zero. 3, 2, 1.
You see MiBR's already going straight for the double op setup straight away on their CT side. I'm wondering, it's from the last time, maybe the last time they played Singularity, trying to eliminate a lot of these maybe walk-up kind of strats that I remember Singularity hit B a lot last time, and just kind of mainly Hydrex just carrying Singularity a lot of those rounds.
It's going to be interesting to see what Fer can get from this Galil push. There is obviously a player right here.
Oh, the timing.
And that's just the underpass pushes can be so annoying for that. The timings, and you can always count on Fer going for pushes. It's just what he does, and it's something that is never changed. It's never changed in years. In the years that he's played this map with the Brazilian core, that's just what he is. And it's good for that opening pick, and after that, we can see that he's fallen all the way back, and it's forced Singularity into this position. We talked about this earlier in the broadcast. When you lose someone early, often as a T side, especially if you have no utility like this, you just have to group up and you have to get positioned somewhere, and otherwise you can't hope to win the round. And you need to use those numbers. If you lose an extra player, it's a 5v3 all of a sudden, your numbers start to count for very little. So here comes the push, the power of numbers. Taco will try to use his utility to slow them down, taking a more defensive position, and looks like Sheikh Zula not expectant, and Taco gets another kill. Big damage there on the bomb site. Ryan and OC remain. Ryan actually has a timing. There might be another kill in it for him, and indeed, that's the way it goes. OC picks off one as well, and a 2 versus 5 effectively. Not looking too bad here. Further, peaks at the perfect moment just before the bomb's planted. Now there's time pressure for Ryan. He does have a smoke, and he would be perhaps wise to either smoke himself or smoke the apartment, smoke something, because the bomb needs to get planted. First, just going to play the time all day, and Ryan is getting baited.
Spray the wall.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure
no.
you can spray through there.
You can spray it, yeah.
What have you got to lose at that point? The only way you can win the round is by, if he picks what you spray, if he spray and he picks from someone else, transfer.
The other thing too is if you're going to really commit to baiting out Fer with a fake, use the smoke. drop the smoke, and then go for the plant. Then Fer doesn't know 100% if you're planting or not, and he has to make a choice. His choice is either he waits because he's not sure, doesn't want to die, and confirms it's a plant, or he just jumps out there and tries to kill you. Which aren't great options, honestly. Would have been a lot better than what happened. But anyway, 4-1. Great round from Fer. This push is being ravaged by the Brazilians, mostly. A couple kills actually will go the way of Singularity, and they've actually fashioned themselves a bomb plant.
And they've got themselves an AUG. They've got flashes to push CT as well. Now with that smoke, I definitely think they should do that with only a P250, but Floppy trying to... Okay, he's having to flash for himself. There we go, and so far so good. He's made it a little easier. He's got the information of where one of the players is. OC has a 1v1, but it won't quite work out. Damage has been fantastic. 3 players taken out and a bomb plant. That's a good round for Singularity.
That's a good call to do a smoke execute when MiBR is playing with 2 alps. If the alpers are playing passively back, like Ticket or Jungle Area, it's a lot harder to retake a bomb site with 2 AWPs.
Ooh, that's not a bad shot. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That makes very little sense. But that's amazing. I like it.
Well, here we have a good buy for Singularity. 4-round lead for MiBR early.
Aha. I feel very stupid. I just looked up ohm. It's a resistance, measure of resistance in circuits, electricity, and so on.
You're close.
I did say resistance, but I was talking about sound for some reason, so I'm an idiot. Sound resistance. Here you go. Sound in the circuits. Fallen. It's taking down Shigzola in middle. And Fer, you know he's hungry. You know he's hungry. He's insatiable. And here it is, going for the push. Oh my god. He gets some value from that. That's not bad. Fallen. He's been flashed though, and I think this is something that James was talking about before, maybe yourself, Eric, about you never know if there's 2 players in connector. I think it was James actually. Yeah. So you got to be careful if you push the smoke. Maybe you catch one, but there'll be someone covering that. But good round from Singularity. They win the fight in middle. MiBR though, they took risks. They went aggressive. They had a 2-man holding connector that Singularity were happy to assault, and that's the kind of confidence you need when you're up against a team that might be overwhelming, like this team, you know, of Brazilians that you're up against.
Actually, MiBR was kind of set up to, if Singularity was to punish Fer and take Khan after he died and pushed middle, Fallen was there to exchange a kill, but a beautiful pop flash coming from, I believe it was Singularity in the connector area, which made Fallen pretty useless in getting that exchange, and Hydrex would clean up and uses SG work, which we saw last time on this map. He was hitting some shots. The old Krieg.
Well, there's a round in the bag. Now what else are they able to do? Brutal. It's a big round, but let's see. We need to find some consistency from Singularity, or they can break the money, and then less consistency is required because there's less money and so on and so forth. But let's see what they can do. It's another full buy from MiBR. 2 AWPs once again. Phelps on an MP9. Trying to channel his inner Fer, who used to play that position with an MP9 or sometimes even an also shotgun. Crouch pick from Floppy, and Taco is deleted. Never seen him make a play like that. Very much a Fallen play style. Even though Taco basically learned to snipe, plays like that might be a different order. Definitely a tall one, a tall order. Fer trying to hold down a jungle position, but Phelps is now in an awkward position. He does not have the range or any cover. He's exposed and he's exploited.
Singularity really catching MiBR out of position in this round. Not only the pick in Palace, but Shigzola was in connector in about 10 seconds. He ran straight into connector. No presence in middle from MiBR to stop that. And they're actually suffering for it. It's okay to lose one of those positions, but if you lose both positions, it's a very strong spot, as you can see, for the T side to then sort of split into the bomb site and also compress and push the defense back, because the lines of fire become quite difficult to handle. And Singularity. The question is, what the response will be from MiBR next round, whether they'll be more passive or whether they'll put more emphasis on middle. You know, how will they respond to, because both of these last 2 rounds for Singularity have effectively been won through the middle play. And one round, MiBR put nobody in mids just now, and in the other round they fought to tooth and nail to the death for mids. So mid is obviously going to be a key part of this game of Mirage, as always it is.
Flash out mid in case anybody's at the half wall, and somebody is Fur having a look, sees the trajectory, has the information, and Shakesula, oh, he's just about seen him, and Fur has no idea. What a change of events. Just like that, a great push from Fur turns into a terrible result because Shakesula has a random jump and spots his head, and then pops it. Taco and Cold in trouble, they're completely blind. Taco gets taken out, Cold has a lot to do, can't really do much, and one by one, MiBR are cut to pieces. Imagine a different round it could have been if Fur was able to get up to top mid and get that kill.
Yeah, it's really nicely done by Singularity. Shakesula with a really important kill. He actually threw a pop flash that I also made. Is that satisfying to see? Yeah, I was just like, oh, I want a pop flash for here, and then I just figured one out, and he used the same one. It's from the spot where you throw the connector smoke from top mid behind the boxes that lands on the CT side of connector.
You know, if you want to talk about pop flashes, let's give some credit to OC. It's been 2 rounds in a row where his flashbang has been on point, and multiple people from MiBR have been blinded by his flash alone, and they resulted in kills.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Sliggy's been enjoying my flash work recently. Watch, there's a flash, and there's the kill.
Look at him, just blind. Like, Taco had no idea. Stabbed the entire time.
Beautiful. Let's go, OC. This flash assist crew. Represent.
Ooh, that's a nice little smoke. I think goes right on stairs, but it bounces to where it lands, like you can't see through it. Let me see it.
Ooh, there we go. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh. Do they understand what just happened? No, they do not! Oh, that was so close! Hydrix takes down a couple players, and Cold Zero has picked up the AK. The AK has been eliminated. Everyone's been eliminated. Shakesula has owned CT Spawn in this round, and they have strung together 4 rounds in a row. It was looking pretty dire, honestly. If you look at the second round of this half as well, where MiBR just completely owned Singularity. They force spawn, they survive with every player, and just won with deagles. You know, the trajectory was looking really bad, and MiBR looked serious right out the gate. But Singularity have broken momentum, they've established themselves. That is nice.
Through the wall, no less. And he still takes them out in one shot.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is really unusual.
How do you do these things?
Well, there is the mid-smoke attempt from Shakesula, which really hasn't quite worked out for him.
That's pretty bad.
And the molly is going to go straight into the smoke. So he doesn't seem to realize that there is a wall there. That's a problem.
That was actually very funny. I found that very amusing. Just also that nothing else is going on the map, just that one thing.
Yeah, it's the other side you want to throw it from, which you may learn now. Carrying the bomb as well. There's a player by stairs, and surely there'll be an eventual peek. What's nice is if you stand on this box with, say, a sniper rifle, you can see people's heads around a default firebox position. OC taken out on the A bomb site. Phelps will be as well. So you've got Fallen in CT now. Cold Zero moving forward, cutting people down. Shakesula's on 1 HP with the bomb. Does he go for a daring play towards B? Looks like he does. I don't know how Floppy gets there. Got to go for it. Is he waiting for Floppy to make a play, maybe? Oh, he's being looked for by Taco, and there is the bomb in no man's land. Floppy trying to get the info. There is the info. 6-5 MiBR. They're coming back.
What a weird round. I think that round was kind of weird because the smoke and molly, which was obviously a problem because he knew that it messed up, obviously, and because of that, he couldn't take connector while the smoke was up. So kind of, I think it botched the timings a bit for Singularity there. Either way, MiBR back in this double orc. But will it defeat the double creek? Who knows? Wait, what are these smokes?
So I think one of these smokes is the stair smoke you saw earlier, but what's the difference on the stair smoke right here? That it lands on the stairs so you can't see through it. Like, you know, there's a little gap if you do the A smokes.
Right.
This eliminates the gap. But he did throw that one. He threw the connector. It's like a silver.
Didn't they throw 2 smokes? What's the other one?
Yeah, I don't know where it went.
Or maybe I'm wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure they did, but maybe it was the middle one. There's a window one.
Taco jumps just at the wrong moment. Doesn't matter though. Everyone gets annihilated in the apartments. It is a horrible scene. No, see now, it's going to try to push his way forwards, but Cold-Zero is there with the AWP. You shall not pass. I wonder how Cold-Zero feels sometimes, you know, AWPing from B, you know, next to the graffiti, you know, that he put in the game and he put in his arm.
Then you wait. You
Did he
talking
put it on
about
his
simple?
arm?
You talking about simple
I'm pretty sure Cold-Zero also got a tattoo, didn't he?
of his own thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
What the heck?
You're not a trustworthy news source.
I thought that he did. I mean, Siggy, do you know?
Not quite TMZ.
Siggy's, he's got no idea.
Where though?
DMZ. No, I think this is you, Dan. I don't think you got that.
I know Simple got one on his arm. Or
Yeah, simple.
was his fallen one?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Fallen looks ready. Will he have a great second consecutive week of AWPing? Because last week he was fantastic.
Kind of carried MiBR in some matches. Put a team on his back.
That's fair. No, there's Fallen once again. 3K from Fallen. Just really one with his mouse at the moment. And that's only small damage done as far as the MiBR are concerned. And it's 3 rounds in a row. That simple one from everybody else's perspective rather than his. Fun times.
Now your Singularity. MiBR just won 3 rounds in a row. Call a timeout. What's your go-to strat? They know that MiBR is double opping. Set pieces, again, are fantastic on shutting down some of the double op setups. Question is, are they going to go towards B? Are they going to go towards A?
And that's all the silence you're getting today. Smokes out towards mid. Fallen and Cold-Zero with the AWPs. Maybe a comfort now in these dying rounds. Colden instead of Taco, although maybe it is spawn dependent, who knows.
He did.
He did get a tattoo.
Yes.
Oh.
On his arm.
Ely did a feature on it.
on the arm?
Vindication.
On his arm, yeah.
Vindication.
They got a celebrity tattoo artist to do it. Anyway. OC and Ryan with the fast entry frags. That firepower is delivering once again for Singularity. Is MiBR stuck behind choke points? But will they be choked out? Or will they find their way forwards? Cold-Zero. He's got a nice angle. The right eye peek, let's go, but he can't get the shot. And Ryan's going to take down Taco as well. They've been crushed. It's so strange how swingy this game is in the sense of the way the duels go.
Yeah.
Sometimes MiBR just smash Singularity, and sometimes it's just the opposite. It just snowballs. It's so interesting.
Just shows how good the timings of both teams are. It's like a snowball effect to where you get one kill on the bomb site, now everyone's looking for that one other person, and they're just working together in unison and working really well. Ooh, that's a tough one. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Fall has if you can get an AWP, because Singularity's been hitting A and B. That's like the 2 money maker strats. But if Fallen had it up, I would say he'd play close ramp. But now since he has a shotgun, I still expect him to play close A ramp.
We've seen Phelps there with the MP9. Phelps only got a CZ. Fur had 4750. Could have dropped an AWP and gone Deagle, but he expects to win the round himself.
They're rushing B. And first pushing stairs. Yes, someone actually checked it. That's important. And Taco, he gets 2 normally from this spot, but only the 1 this time. And that's going to be problematic. Fallen's not going to be happy about this long rotation with the Mag 7. Not going to be happy at all.
That smoke is a pain. See Phelps holding an angle. He's picked up the rifle from downstairs. Floppy avoids it. Floppy's been important this half.
Yeah.
Now on 13 kills, leading the server.
5 for a pistol ace though, and it looks like it's all kicking off here as they finally burst through the apartments. Phelps, is he going to go for this? Chazula doesn't have any idea. Is he on it or not? Has to go check. And there's no kit. And I don't know if there would even have been any time. MiBR, they will concede this round. And Singularity, after a horrible start, they finished 7-8. That is not bad.
It isn't bad. Can they build on that in the second half? You'll have to wait and find out after this break. We're back. MiBR will start on the T side in their second half. Sheikh Zula, I say start, I mean they'll play the whole half on the T side because that's kind of how it works. Sheikh Zula with a smoke and a diffuse kit, everybody else on Kevlar for Team USP. Unique selling point. Phelps and Fallen will have utility. No P250s for Mirage, which I think is a shame, because you have plenty of range where they would come in handy. Let's see how this works out. We've got smokes towards jungle connector. They've left CT open, which Ryan has to expect they're going to try and push. They've used all their flashes already, however, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, actually they're throwing something different here. So leaving CT open to suggest they're going CT, but instead they push jungle.
Nice, I like it. And you have to push something. Some people don't understand. You don't just plant the bomb and take the site, you push something. Whether it be jungle, whether it be CT, you got to take some map control away from the CTs when they come in for the retake.
Look at Cold Zero as well. He's just coming through B apartments at the moment, so this is quite the pistol round for MiBR.
Fallen's holding them off as long as he can. Taco as well coming in from Palace. And this position's super annoying. Oh, he's done a lot of damage. They don't care. Oh, Taco just barely gets Shakesala in the smoke. That's really important. And eventually will be finished off by MiBR. So they pick up the pistol. I like this pistol from MiBR. It's brave, but fortune favors the bold. The motto. That's the motto of the SAS.
Is that what you said before you started bleaching your hands?
No, because I didn't realize it was bold. So there you go.
And you got no fortune from it.
That's true.
It's okay.
At least everything was clean, I suppose, mostly.
Hands are clean.
Especially your hands.
Hands are very clean.
Shakesala has a flashbang. That is all that is there is to say for Singularity, because they've been turned into one. Phelps of 18 HP, doesn't want to overstep his mark, or maybe he does. Not a big deal. There's a follow-up from Cold. That leaves Floppy, the one and only Floppy, in the window. And he's dead. On to the next one. 3-round lead for MiBR.
You know, people say taking middle on Eco, anti-Eco is very risky, very dangerous, but MiBR did kind of a good job in terms of getting Phelps up cat, having Smoke's window, having people behind him to kind of cover that connector push as well. So it's not like they're sitting in the middle and waiting for CTs to rotate to middle and set up crossfires.
It's something that the Danish teams were quite fond of as well, those B splits, especially on the anti-ecos and anti-force buys. And they're really effective if you do them correctly. But a lot of teams don't like to do them. I think that's sad. Anyway, we will have MiBR on a lovely 4-buy, falling on the AWP. Looking to get some value from Rab. As soon as this smoke disappears, we could expect him to walk up, and there's lots of different ways that he can play off of Taco and his teammate on the ramp. Oh my god. How does that work?
Gotta know your angles.
Baco, let's go.
Not afraid to give his position away for the gamble. Gamble pays off. Big grenades towards that CT position. Nice attention to detail from MiBR. They leave Ryan with 14 HP. The bomb has not been committed to the A site just yet. And Singularity, I suppose the save has been called. That's it. That's a wrap.
They're out.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that. I think Phelps must have heard a lot of that from his position. So, just like that, they have a free bomb site. MiBR can't quite believe it.
It was actually a very smart play. So what MiBR did, what Phelps did, he pushed through that Astralis mid-smoke, which Singularity was hoping the MiBR would stay behind it and maybe use more utility towards mid or like hesitate and take a middle because of that smoke. But since Phelps had the forward position, went through it, he spotted the entire middle, there was nothing. So he communicated to MiBR, his teammates, that, hey, there's no one middle, they're playing sites. And so MiBR adjusted correctly, doing it pretty much an A execute with one smoke at the connector and then just nading that CT ticket, expecting at least one person to be there.
There's only so many places they can be.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a game of deduction.
Singularity holding on to everything. The conservative routes.
That's good.
Playing for the long game.
Yes.
So MiBR moved to 11. That's much needed money for MiBR as well. So everybody's happy. To some degree. Some degree of happiness. Degrees of happiness.
Is that a movie?
I don't know, it should be.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Good film. 4-round lead for MiBR. So Floppy has a gun to pick up on the flow. And away we go again. Very fast Molotov from OC. Maybe that stops Cold Zero from getting up to some shenanigans.
See Singularity kind of pushed up for an anti-A execute here. It's very difficult for T's to deal with so many people pushed up if they kind of give it away that they're smoking, flashing A and all and whatnot.
Yeah, if you have those correct, support flashbangs coming in, the shadow players become very dangerous, especially if you drop a defensive smoke in the around the shadow position, which can help to not only nullify the Molotovs and buy time for your teammates to flash in, but it allows you to have a really strong option to push when the flashes come in and actually get the kills as well. So yeah, it becomes really interesting. So this could be the cue to drop a smoke. There's a smoke instantly. I think someone must have been holding it already. And now part of the problem is the smoke is too much in shadow. You want it to be a little bit further out if you possibly can, but might not matter as Floppy comes out looking for the player from Palace, but he's a bit exposed to coldzera, who will tap him down. And it looks like this is successful for MiBR. They've actually nailed this, despite, as you mentioned, what is, in theory, a pretty strong way to deal with this kind of a round.
Yeah, Singularity kind of did a... looks like they're kind of going for a bait play under the balcony. And I think that's okay. I think it's actually can be a very good play if applied right, but the problem is that the rest of Singularity were dying in the process. So you're getting killed. You have two people hiding under the smoke while your team's already dead pretty much. And so if players were to stay alive and maybe like poke towards Ticket or Jungle, just let MiBR like, hey, we're over here, that bait would probably work a lot better.
I think it really is so much about those flashes as well that come in from the CTs that are just the ones that died, like you said, as opposed to they're not supposed to be the ones necessarily taking the kills. It's the guys who have pushed deep that can take the kills.
Yeah.
But you got to set them up. Either way, Singularity back on the pistols. They've had success with pistols.
That's how you smoke the connector.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. It's a pretty easy one as well. And so almost has the second one to be finished off by coldzera, and not really all that much to be done here for Singularity at this point. Not too much to save either, so get some kills, some damage to the economy of MiBR would be valuable, but this looks like it's going to be 13, and that means MiBR will only be 3 away from victory. And that means that the margin for error for Singularity goes to more or less nil, as their economy will be in a poor place.
There you go.
Yeah, MiBR most certainly in a driving seat at this point, in terms of momentum and everything else. Of course, Singularity will soon be back on the bye, but they are at the mercy of MiBR's will at present. They haven't won a single round this half yet, Singularity.
Yeah.
And they are running out of rounds to lose. Was it Inferno, the second map, I believe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the final map is because I actually it's over because I was like, this is a 2-0.
Overpass that.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Caused. The production is talking to me. But yeah, in the veto, I was so sort of locked into like, I don't think that Singularity will get past these 2 maps. I didn't even really consider how the third would go. So in Singularity, they were pretty impressive on their T side in the way that they were very decisive with how they moved around the map, what they were trying to achieve. They hit their shots as well. They had some pretty cool clutch moments. However, this defending against MiBR it's a very different story, as we can see so far. It's not been too many rounds, unfortunately, but sometimes you only get a handful.
You know, I think the last time these teams play on the map, Singularity also had a super passive middle on their CT side, and you see so far on this T half from MiBR, they're exploiting the mid a lot. A lot of rounds where they send 1 or 2 people middle after a couple of smokes, and just literally just creeping up, taking map control because Singularity aren't really doing too much.
Absolutely. That's a great flash, actually, from coldzera. Look how quickly he gets through to the catwalk position, and they go for a B split. We saw this previously against pistols, but now it's against a full gun round, and you can see how effective it can be. There's only 1 player in B at this point of the round, and Singularity are in this awful position where they actually have to save, I think. I don't think they can really go in against 5 players who already have post-plant positions, who could already be deep on apps, could be deep on market, deep on cat. don't think you can retake that. The percentages are very low. It's MiBR as well. MiBR just made the right call.
Surprised Singularity didn't take advantage, because they, as they're talking about holding mid, they had 3 people mid, and instead of maybe trying to push up and take the fight, they all fell back. And coldzera literally ran up cat by himself, uncontested.
Yeah, his pop flash, he bounced the flash down low. That was actually pretty sick. That full blinded both players who were lower. I don't know if there was like what the third player was up to, but those 2 players were definitely blinded, so he nailed it. coldzera really nailed that. I like that flash a lot, actually. It's kind of cool.
You gonna use it?
I think I will, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you only go ramp.
I go everywhere.
If everywhere is ramp.
Well, at least I have 4 digits of elo, James.
Oh my goodness, you're going there.
MiBR with double the score of Singularity at this point. coldzera trying to do the same, and maybe the no respect style will cost them in this particular round. Or maybe it won't. Taco trying to delete. Where is that for?
Oh, that's
Double
cool.
connector? Let's have a look. I think it is.
Oh, that's so sick.
There we go. Perfect smoke from Fallen.
Can you replay of that?
Yeah, please.
Fur creeping up. Does he look for a second kill? 1. Oh, the transfer isn't quite there. A tap might have been enough. Or if he stood on the other guy's head, if he jumped on his head and then shot him, that would have been quite something. But here we are. Fallen running into the B-bomb site. Both Singularity players are on A. You've got to favour Fallen in this situation. You may not realise that he has so much time, however. All the X's around A and mid. New X's to be found on B soon.
It's really interesting because this is kind of one of those 50-50 situations for Singularity. There's like 2 ways you can play it, obviously. You can play it super safe and go 50-50, or you can split the 2 players up. But I think they have too much respect for Fallen to ever go for that option. That might be one of the reasons why they've chosen to do it this way. And we'll see if Fallen can close down the clutch. I mean, that's just, he's a phenomenal player, so can absolutely expect excellent decision-making from Fallen here, as well as execution on the shots as he looks for them. There's the first one. Second player spotted, and it's just too easy for Fallen. Lovely stuff. That looked so easy.
That's a problem with giving him too much respect. Gave him too much time to reposition, to get in a good spot, and where the bomb timer was running down. There we go. That's what I like to see.
I tried to take a picture of my phone, but I mean, that's too slow. I want to see that lineup, man.
You know we have archives on YouTube, right? Face it on YouTube, Dan.
Yeah, but I could have just I will save myself time in the future. I'd rather do that.
Game point for MiBR.
Okay.
And they've got quite a few of them. Singularity with a 2-man push on the ramp. The bomb was there for a brief moment, and it is no longer there. They do, however, have Fallen in the palace. Taco's been taken out, and now Fur is going to trade the kill. Shake doesn't see the bomb on the radar because his back is turned. So let's see what happens now.
It's really cool because you don't have to push 2 players. Obviously, like leaving the A site completely naked when there's a very strong possibility someone can be in Palace is a massive risk. And you rarely see teams do it like this. You often see that just 1 player will push. And so I think this is kind of cool in how brave it is from Singularity. They know they need some huge risk. And there is 1 player spotted, 2 players spotted, 3 players spotted. All right, and can he close it down? He gets 2, almost a third. That's a great result. That does give Singularity the man advantage. So this play has worked out, and they have full information, but they've got no one on the A site, but the bomb can't make it there because mid has taken the bomb.
Fallen!
Oh.
He makes it expensive. He makes it really expensive, but they will survive. And I think survive is the word towards the end there. Look at the money on MiBR. Lots more pain to come. And we can see the issues now for Singularity thanks to all those frags. Shakezilla's on an MP9. Floppy's got an M4 on the floor. Hydrex has been reduced to a French gun. Ryan's opted for the helmet for some reason, with no grenades, not even a smoke, which is unusual, but considering his play, it all makes sense. It's like a play into the underpass. You don't really need your grenade for this situation. Taco's choosing to fall back. He's got a fadeaway grenade. And now Ryan will choose to do the same. But he gets game point, I suppose, I think if it wasn't game point, then maybe he doesn't need grenades. But against game point, I would say always no helmet and a smoke. Because if you do retreat, then here you go.
And they're so hungry to push because they're behind. They know that they need something, and this is not going to work out. Cole even could have tried to let him pass, but he'll annihilate both players. That is beautiful work with the Krieg. 3v3 actually, as frags have been made by OC and Floppy towards middle and Palace. So Singularity very much feel this A push, and good shot from Fallen picks up some critical damage, which will be finished off by Foe with the wall bang through triple, and now the bomb can be planted. Hydrex looking for the peek. He finds a shot onto Fallen and the headshot onto Cold Zero. The FAMAS coming in with the save.
There's still time for Fur. He doesn't know where the other player is. Coming up from the ramp. Ooh, he just about won't be spotted. 30 seconds remain, and he's off. Off to the races. Ooh, rotating up to top mid. Will he be heard? It doesn't seem so. But this time they'll split anyway. So we've got Hydrex making his way towards the market door. He's eating the flashbang. So maybe there's a chance for a plant. Ooh, get around the corner. No! Hydrex takes him out. There's still a live Singularity. Going for the defuse immediately. I don't know if there's an AWP to collect. Looks like there might be. There we go. And now the defuse can resume. Round number 9 for Singularity. 6 rounds. Is it too much to ask? You have to wonder now.
It's not too much to ask, but the reality is very harsh, and it'll be extremely difficult every step of the way. I like how the approach was very different here in that they did split up, and this is beautiful because I think the FAMAS is a great rifle. Actually, I prefer it to the Galil because I feel like it's more reliable, partly because the rate of fire is better. So. And also the spray is slightly more manageable. So you can, if you get the dink, and if you're accurate, you probably will. It's not too hard to finish off the frag. So I respect the controlled use of the FAMAS there.
I hate the FAMAS.
You prefer the Galil?
Yeah, I do. And if I'm on CT side, let's get an MP9 over a FAMAS.
That's the problem that I have, is that I want to buy the FAMAS a lot of the time, but I'm like the MP9 though, and but it does change the play style. It depends if you want to be aggressive or if you don't want to be aggressive. I think that's one of the things to consider. But anyway, we have the top mid take coming in from MiBR with the bomb, and they've got a man on Palace as well as a wrap. So they are looking for that A split. Classic round here. The bomb might actually fall back after the support nades are thrown from top mid and rejoin the push around A ramp. We'll have to see how they decide to do this. Taka going for the spray, and he's done some significant damage. Ryan down to 30, but he's alive, most importantly. Big flash, push into mid. Ship all in on middle, and it looks like the losses are equal. And the bomb needs to be collected. This will burn some time. And do you send the bomb alone up connector?
Fallen has info on 1. Hydrex's position is awesome. He's got the off angle on connector. It's a likely position. First going to walk straight into it. Goodbye. That leaves Taco 1 versus 3. Last one to fall. And now it's 5 rounds. And now it is 5 rounds. And the loss bonus is in the bin for MiBR because they're not even in a fantastic position in that regard. This is you started to wonder. Again, MiBR did struggle versus Singularity in their previous matchup here at ECS, and it may be on the cards. It seems unlikely, but by no means is it outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and I mean, the buy from MiBR is fine enough, because they've tailored the rounds to the buy. They're going for a fast play into the B-bomb side. They've got weapons that work well on the fly. Scout, CZ, MAC-10, all guns that work really well in fast, aggressive plays. And they've got the classic push up mids, and it's with and also with Phelps. And Shakespeare, oh, this is very awkward. Very, very, very awkward as he'll get taken down by Spam through the smoke, as now they'll go for the push behind the frag. Hydrex in the smoke. And that's the bomb down. That's going to kill so much time here. And jumping through the smoke will work out. But Fallen's in there with the scout now, as well as the rotation comes in. And this might be it, because OC's up against 4 angry Brazilians. And there might not be too much that he can do. He's got an AWP. He's very good with it. Oh, but he's been tagged by the scout, and there's a double peek. 16 to 10, MiBR will eventually and finally close it down.
Singularity gave some rounds, but maybe giving MiBR a little too much respect. Yeah, these guys deserve respect, but in a way, you have to kind of be a little cocky when you play, like when you're the underdog. You want to, you know, show your confidence that you belong here. And there's a lot of little instances where maybe if Singularity was a little more aggressive, maybe they peaked a little bit instead of backing away in certain situations. Could have been a couple more rounds swinging in their favor. But staying on top of that, MiBR still looked pretty comfortable in this entire match.
Yeah, some great demonstration of Counter-Strike. Nice individual skill. Saw some fun stuff in that game. Good average of kills on the MiBR side, and indeed that is the first game in the bag for them. That was quite fun. Fallen's been a highlight reel for almost 2 weeks now, just absolutely non-stop. Really enjoying Counter-Strike at the moment, and it continues here on Mirage, and perhaps it will continue on Inferno. Inferno is going to be the second map in this best-of-3 series that is coming up very shortly indeed. Thanks to the people who tweeted. Someone tweeted a picture of Cold Zero's actual tattoo on his bicep as well, so that's great. That's good to see.
I was right.
You were right, Dan. Congratulations.
Yeah, I've always doubted.
Dan was, with good reason, Dan. But he was right on this occasion, so congratulations to Dan. We'll just take a moment of silence for Dan to have his moment of being right.
Do I get this watch?
There's a moment of silence. After the break, I'll get my watch back, and it will be Inferno in this best-of-3 series. See you soon.